Lovely.
That's proper class.
Hi everyone, it's James and Paul from the Studio Rats, and we are here at NAMM 2024 in the Yamaha. It used to be called the Dojo, didn't it, many moons ago?
Yeah, right now we're calling it a booth, but it's a little more of a
Hall.
a whole area.
The Yamaha event. We're here with Brandon, and of course, we are looking at the new Pacificas.
Yes. Yeah, we're really excited about these guitars. We've launched 2 new Pacifica models this year.
Yep.
There's the Pacifica Professional and the Standard Plus. These are basically taking the Pacifica, harkening back to its original roots, and revamping them from the ground up. So the original Pacificas that came out in 1990 were actually a collaboration between our custom shop in Los Angeles and the headquarters in Hamamatsu, Japan. And those guitars were really meant for Los Angeles session players. They were meant to be versatile, high-end instruments. Now, over the years, the Pacificas became really beloved for the entry to mid-level price point. And this year, we've decided to continue selling those guitars, but also bring back the high-end Pacifica models.
That's great.
So, yeah, I would love to give you guys a rundown on what's new on these.
Yes, and I've got a quick question for you.
Yeah.
When did Rupert Neve start developing pickups, and why did you guys choose that as an option?
Yeah, I'm really glad you asked that because it's a super fun story. So Yamaha and Rupert Neve Designs have actually had a relationship for years now, since about the early to mid 2000s. And that has mainly been in our pro audio department, some plug-in stuff, things of that nature. So our PA department, our engineers, were actually visiting Rupert Neve Designs to talk about some transformers for a new pro audio product. While they were there, they noticed that Dennis, one of the Rupert Neve engineers, had some guitar pickups laying on his desk. And they were like, hey, what's that? Turns out Dennis has been making transformers and pro audio gear for decades. He builds guitar pickups just as a hobby. And so he kindly gifted the set of pickups to one of the Yamaha engineers. They brought it back to Japan, threw him in a guitar, and they were blown away. They sounded great. So that sparked the inception of this whole thing. From that moment up to this final version, it was about a 4-year development process.
Wow.
There were quite a few specific things that we wanted to achieve with Rupert Neve Designs, which is why the R&D process took as long as it did. So those things mainly were balance, clarity, and versatility. So as far as balance, on an HSS style guitar, there's often a volume discrepancy when you jump to that bridge humbucker. These are balanced all the way across. It's really just a tonal difference. There's not a volume shift as you're moving your way through that 5-way switch. The other thing was clarity. With traditional guitar pickup manufacturing, there's a trade-off between the bass response and the treble frequencies. If you want more bass, you sacrifice treble, vice versa. With these, we wanted to achieve a tight, present low end and a very airy, shimmery top end. And that took quite a while, took a lot of prototyping, but we did achieve that sound with the help of Rupert Neve Designs. So these are very wide, they're very clear, and that lends itself to versatility. Okay. Basically, if you start with the whole block of clay, you can craft it into whatever you want. So we're starting with as much frequency as possible.
Lovely.
Yeah, and this is an HSS, a 5-way selector, and a coil split. True coil split, so you're getting a single coil sound when you use it on that bridge humbucker. And what else is new to these guitars? I'll start from up here. We've got Godot locking tuners. These are 510s on here. We've got a brand new Slim C neck profile that's on both Standard Plus and Professional, as are the tuners on both guitars. We've got a Graphtec nut with a 42 millimeter nut width.
Yep.
Prior Pacificas were a little more narrow. That was a request we got from a lot of customers, so now this is a more standard 42. Both guitars have stainless steel frets and come in either rosewood or maple fingerboards.
Lovely.
The Professional model is a compound radius, 10 to 14 inches. The Standard Plus is a fixed radius, 13.8 inches. And the truss rod adjustment has been moved from the top of the headstock to the bottom of the neck.
Great. Yep.
This does quite a few things. It adds more mass at the headstock. Durability actually helps with a little bit of low end. But the main thing is how easy the access is now for that truss rod. We've also got a Godot 2-point tremolo on here, so super smooth, returns to pitch really well. Comes stock with 3 springs in the back. And then we've recontoured and redesigned the entire body. So this is a new arm bevel, this is a new belly cut. We've totally revamped the neck joint back here, the neck heel. So this is now slanted and contoured. And there's actually some very cool acoustic design happening on the inside of these guitars as well.
What's some routing or what's
Yes,
that?
and actually I would love to walk you guys over there and show it to you if you have a second.
Yeah.
All right, so speaking of Yamaha's acoustic design process, our engineers in Japan actually have the ability to 3D model our guitar bodies, and they can test out different chamberings, different bevels, different cuts, and then they can simulate resonating the wood and see what that does on the body. So what we found out after a lot of research is that if you put these slits under the pickguard area, this actually reduces the stiffness of the body in that area. If you add this bar in the control cavity, it increases the stiffness in that area. So we're kind of playing a balancing act on the body. What you end up with is a body that has no dead spots or live spots. It evenly resonates across the whole body. And this is 2-piece alder as well on the professional. So it's an extremely resonant guitar, it's extremely balanced across the body, and you really feel that more than anything while you're playing it.
Brandon, thanks ever so much for taking the time out to talk to us about the new Pacifica. And we're going to have some fantastic performance from Robbie sprinkled in amongst the goodness.
Lovely.
Awesome. Thank you guys very much for checking out the new guitars.
Cheers, Brandon.
Cool.
Appreciate it.
I'm nicking some of that lot. I'm nicking some of those.